guys, this is Kelsey the Happy Hobbit, and today I am here to do a little book chat / review on The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. I just finished this book last night and I couldn't wait to come on and talk about it with you guys. This is my first time ever reviewing a book. I thought that I would break this video kind of into two parts, where the first half I just kind of talk generally about the book, some basic plot and things like that. And then about halfway through, I will give you a heads up. So if you want to click out of the video to avoid any spoilers, you can do that. I really just want to talk in the second half about a couple of things that I have thoughts about, and it may give things away. So no, it will definitely give things away. I'll give you that heads up when it's time. And in the meantime, we will start talking about The Family Upstairs. I picked this book up in Barnes & Noble. I was really kind of drawn to it because of the cover, honestly. I'm a sucker for a good book cover. I think the little pop of purple against the black background is really what did it for me. I kind of tried to emulate that in my makeup a little bit with the little pop of violety, purpley pink. And the black top, you'll learn about that if you read this book / if I read you the inside cover. But I was really fascinated when I saw it. Not to mention there was 20 of them on the end cap in Barnes & Noble, so it's hard to just walk by that. Let me read you the inside and give you an idea. It says, soon after her 25th birthday, Libby Jones returns home from work to find the letter she's been waiting for her entire life. She rips it open with one driving thought: I'm finally going to know who I am. She learns not only the identity of her parents, but also that she is the sole inheritor of their abandoned mansion on the banks of the Thames in London's fashionable Chelsea neighborhood. The home, even in its dilapidated state, is worth millions. Everything in Libby's life is about to change. What she doesn't know is that others have been waiting for this day as well. And although they've been in hiding, they are now heading her way. Nearly 25 years ago, police were called to 16 Cheyne Walk with reports of a baby crying. When they arrived, they found a healthy 10-month-old safe and sound in the upstairs bedroom. In the kitchen, 3 dead bodies, all dressed in black, were seemingly posed next to a hastily scrawled note. The 4 other children reported to live at Cheyne Walk were gone. So that definitely drew me in when I read that, and then I bought it, and here we are. When you start reading this, you meet Libby, who I think is a very relatable character. She is just a 20-something professional who is pretty content with her life and her job and the things that she works hard for. And after kind of getting to know her, you are introduced to 2 other characters. This book is written in multiple points of view, so they kind of rotate as you read. Lucy and Henry are the 2 other characters, and they are both somehow connected to Libby and connected to the mansion that she inherits. Each chapter you learn a little bit about the history of the people of this mansion, and it's pretty dang twisted. It started as a family home, but then turned very culty very quickly. And, it was a cult setting that was definitely not shy to child abuse and some other potentially triggering events. So, if that's an issue, just keep that in mind. I think reading this book, the chapters are very quick, which I tend to enjoy because I feel like I am just flying through the book. And as a slow reader, typically, that makes you feel really good. I think the characters overall were easy to follow. There were a couple of times that I found myself picking the book up again after putting it down, and I would have to flip back a chapter or 2 just to kind of realign myself with where I was in the story. But since the chapters are so short, that wasn't really a problem. And I feel like I liked how the different points of view kept changing, because it was almost like you were unlocking pieces of the puzzle as you went. So I enjoyed that. Some things were a little predictable throughout the book, but that being said, there were still plenty of times where I was just like, excuse me? Or what? I love the feeling when I am reading a book and I'm sitting there and I literally go, I love that feeling. And I'm kind of new to reading the thriller genre, but I think that's what's supposed to happen. That was a thumbs up for that reason alone, because there were a few moments in this where I did that. And I think overall, I would recommend this to a friend. I enjoyed reading it, and I have another Lisa Jewell novel on the way. I believe it's called Watching You, and I ordered that from Book Outlet, and hopefully it gets here in the next couple weeks because I'm excited to read more Lisa Jewell. That is kind of my overview of The Family Upstairs. I think I would say we're kind of at a 4.5 star. And the only reason it's not 5 is because there are a few pieces of unfinished business that I am about to talk about in my second half of this video that if you do not want any type of spoilers, turn back now or just X out of the video. Thank you for watching. I am going to dive into a few of those things right now. Here's the tea. I felt like this story was really well executed, but maybe I'm just a greedy reader. I don't know, but I wanted to know so much more about some of these characters and their relationships. For example, Martina and Lucy, that seems to be the only, parent-child relationship that is not really talked about or, delved into. And I wanted to know more. I feel like you saw some of the interactions between Martina and Henry, but never so much Martina and Lucy. So I guess I would have liked to see something about that, even though it was probably very non-essential to the plot. Another relationship was, or not relationship, but character was Justin. I thought Justin was a cool character, and I liked reading about his involvement in everything, even though I felt like it was little. Obviously, he was kind of an aide or a mentor to Henry at a certain point in the book when he offered to let him learn about herbs and gardening. It became clear that he wanted to help Henry get out of that house. And you learn that Justin is going to leave that house. But I guess I just wanted to know more about Justin's personality and why was he so submissive and subservient for as long as he was. The timeline's a little unclear, but obviously Bertie cheated on him with David, and David cheated on Sally. So, they're both sucky people, and it was clear that Justin had no respect for these people anymore and didn't care to be around them. I want to know why he waited to leave as long as he did. I know that in cult-based things or cults in general, brainwashing is a huge tactic used to morph the minds of its members. So I've always been fascinated with kind of that cult mentality and how somebody can get in the inner workings of somebody's mind so much that it transforms their logical thinking and processing. I don't know. I was just curious more about Justin. I don't know. So maybe it was just that Justin was brainwashed and he slowly came out of his brainwashed state and was like, fuck this, I'm out. I don't know. Just some tea that I have with the book. I just wanted to know more about that. And let's see. I talked about things being a little bit predictable. I think one of the biggest things I predicted was that Lucy was going to kill Michael. There was no way that that was just going to end, with their meeting. I had a feeling that she was going to go and pop off and shank him, which she did. So that was a little predictable, not in a bad way. The one thing that was not predictable to me was Finn and Lucy being Serenity's parents. I was totally of the mindset that David and Lucy were the parents. So when they said that, I was just like, that was one of my moments. So that was, a weird twist. The whole thing has weird twists, but that was interesting. Overall, I feel like this book was left open for a sequel. I think at the end, where Miller gives Libby the safari brochure, and it has this picture of a man on the brochure that seems to be Finn. Obviously, Henry gets very excited and chimes in, hey, room for one more on your safari? And that's how it ends. We know that Henry has this mad love obsession with Finn, so much to the point where he wanted to kind of become Finn cosmetically and would write I am Finn on like weird shit in the house. There is definitely still room for something to happen, whether it's a revenge or whether it's a reunion or I don't know, but I would totally be down to read a second one. So down. I think the only other thing that I read after I finished the book was the input from Lisa Jewell herself, and I thought it was really cool how she used things that she witnessed when I think she was in Nice, and she witnessed this woman with her 2 children sneak behind a restaurant to go use the showers. And if this was something that really happened that she saw, and she took that idea and made that fit this story. And I thought that was really cool to know that Lucy's character was based off of that. It's cool to me to see some insight into why what the author saw that made her create this. It's like those thoughts became pages, and those pages became a book, and that book is now in my head. And the other thing was she drew inspiration for the house in this book from a real house on a real road called Shane Walk. Was it Walk? Shane Walk. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I went and I looked it up on Google and saw the real life Google image of this home, and I thought that was super neat. So I believe it was 6 Shane Walk in Chelsea, London, is what I looked up. And it was pretty cool. The whole street looks gorgeous. I want to live there, just not in a cult house. That is my processing and my review of The Family Upstairs. I would definitely recommend it to a friend. I loved it. I hope there's a sequel, and I'm excited to read my next Lisa Jewell novel because of this. So if you have feedback on this book, I would love to hear it. I would love to share thoughts and predictions with you guys and see how you feel if you read this, and if not, are you going to read it? Now that I've spoiled everything in the back half of this video, but it's fine. Thank you guys for spending some time with me as I did my first book chat, and I appreciate you all. I hope you are having a lovely day. This Happy Hobbit will catch you later.